Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It is Seti Saturdays. Seti Saturdays. August the 19th. Seti Saturdays. You never want to miss an episode of Seti Saturdays, as our goal, our mission, is to change the economic reality that currently exists in this world. That's a big mission. That's a big mission, but it can be accomplished. It can be accomplished with knowledgeable people. When people become knowledgeable and are able to make intelligent decisions, rational decisions, we can live in a different kind of world. We must simply understand, family, that the world we live in is dominated by those who have wealth, money, and these things equate to power, capacity, and ability to do things. This is why generally the average and everyday man and woman cannot simply change the circumstances that any of us may face in this world without, of course, a collective. Now, when there is a collective, even of, quote, poor people, let's say, that collective can have the energy and capacity and power to still change things in the world. But wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better if we could create a world where we begin to balance out significantly the economic realities of the world? Once again, thank you. Thank you for joining us at Seti Saturdays, the August 19th, 2020, 2023 edition. My name is Brother Bay K. Muhammad. I am so happy to be here with you representing Seti Inc. Seti Inc. is a management consulting company. Now, if you've been joining us over the last few weeks, you know that we've been talking a lot about decentralized finance. For those of you who may be joining us just now, you might, if you don't know what that term means or not familiar, please be sure to check out our previous broadcast. As of today, you might know, and for those of you who may have been watching us on LA Radio's YouTube channel, we are now broadcasting live from our own YouTube channel at Seti Inc. We're so happy to be doing that now. You can catch all of our broadcasts on YouTube from our direct channel here at Seti Inc. at YouTube or on YouTube. Please be sure to tell others about this broadcast. This is not like any other broadcast you may typically come into. We're not here just speaking about wealth and money just because we like money and wealth, but we do. We do, and we all do, right? For the most part, there, because it's a necessity of life. But even in doing so, we understand that there is a spiritualness. There's a spiritual reality. There are forces and energies, if you will, if those terms are better for some. Forces and energies that are affecting our lives. And if you will, to use abstract terms, the good and the evil can use the same tools. So wealth and money are merely tools of usage, and what happens with those tools is determined upon who is using them. Our goal is to educate. I want to make it clear, we didn't necessarily or may not have clearly stated, although certainly in all of our documentation we do, that we are not, let me repeat, we are not giving you any financial advice. We are not financial advisors. We are not CFPs. We are not CTAs. We are not brokers of any kind. We are not that. We are management consultants who are also certified as professional stock traders, certified as blockchain experts, certified as crypto experts. And therefore, what we do with our clients is we educate. We educate people about the realities and the great necessity of knowing and understanding these industries and these spaces, and in particular, the emergence of the new world of economics that is taking place right before our eyes, which many of us don't even know it's happening. And of course, in this new world of economics, you and I, this is why it's new. You and I now can have power in it for ourselves. We can have control for our families. We can do things in this new emerging reality, this new emerging world of economics that have never been done before. Throughout the history of the world, there have always been the elite and then the people. There have always been the rulers and those who have had power, and then those who have not. But technology is now changing that. But it only will change with educated people. It will only change with educated people who have the knowledge, the capacity, the wherewithal, and the will to see forth change. Nothing ever changes unless someone, you and I, determine that there will be a change. So today, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. Some have written us and said, hey, we're enjoying this information you're giving us about decentralized finance. And we're not going to get away from that too far by and large, because it is one of the most significant game-changing realities that we've seen in centuries. However, we do want you to become acquainted with Seti Inc. as a management consulting firm. And what that really means, in short, is we are experts in terms of business. Now, we can do work for corporations and LLCs, S corps, etc. We can do work for businesses, but we also do work for families, people who want to ensure certain protections, ensure certain legacies for their families. We do work to help manifest what you would want to protect your family. For example, if you want to ensure that your family gets an inheritance and that inheritance is protected, wealth security, then we can facilitate the necessary strategic methodologies and planning to enable that to take place. I want to talk about today, though, one of the things that we do, and we're doing it, in fact, for one of our clients, and that is helping individuals and businesses to gain capital. Now, we do this actually in a number of ways, but today I'm going to talk about a particular strategy that any of us potentially could gain the necessary capital we need to go into business, right? Because we want to see more businesses develop. It has been said, and there's still some truth to it, that in America, that the backbone of the economic reality of America is small businesses. Now, one could argue whether or not that's still the case, because we have seen a great erosion of small businesses in America, and we're seeing sort of the destruction of the small business community. But still, more and more small businesses continue to come on, to start up and to grow. Now, whether you are a mom and pop business or you're a Fortune 500 company, what have you, that doesn't really matter because every single business will, at some point at least, need capital. So even if you're a big multi-billion dollar international corporation, they need capital. And they'll often derive their capital, of course, from the public sector from via the means of, let's say, stocks, which they sell, which is basically a vehicle for infusion of capital. And once a corporation owns stock, it's a number of things they can do with the stock that it allows them to have access to capital. Now, mom and pop businesses or even medium-sized companies, and just to kind of put this in perspective, when I'm talking medium-sized, I'm going to use the SBA kind of language. Now, this could vary from industry to industry, of course, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, medium-sized businesses might be something in the range of 5 million on the low end, really 10 million, but let's say 10 million to $50 million. This is a medium-sized business in America. Now, for medium-sized businesses, you might not be a publicly traded company. You may use other mechanisms such as private placement memorandums or private placement tools in order for you to gain capital. You may do some series of a limited public access to capital, means to access capital. But many companies are still using, let's say, the traditional means of going to banks, finance companies, etc. But there are a number of ways, a number of strategic and I want to say innovative ways. And these are the things that we specialize in at Seti. We specialize in innovative ways and practices, strategic methodologies that are not often seen or even talked about, but certainly are being used by the knowledgeable who that empower us to be able to access capital, to grow businesses, to do things that are not normally done. Now, we're helping some of our clients even do some really fantastic things like grow banks. Yes, establish banks. Now, when I say something like that, most people will start thinking about traditional banks, the banks that you go and deposit your money in, but there are all kinds of banks. There's savings and loans, there are commercial banks, there are credit unions. These are sorts of banks, right? So there are all kinds of ways to do banking. So yes, we one of the things we do is we help clients to establish certain types of businesses. Now, but regardless of the type of business you might have or be looking into, you want to develop, you're going to need capital at some point in time, probably in the beginning, because most businesses need capital in the beginning. So let's just suppose you're not able to have enough capital right out of pocket, your own savings, etc. You might go to friends and family. This is common to raise some capital. You then might go to a traditional bank. Now, when you get money from a bank, let us be very candid here that what that is debt. Now, debt can be a good and bad thing, and that's a conversation for another day. But again, we use innovative means, ways, and practices to even let debt be beneficial. There are ways that we can utilize debt to be a benefit to us. Now, one thing that people often don't know, and many of us, in particular those who become entrepreneurs at some later time after maybe working a job, for some number of years, 10, 20, 30 years. Some people in certain professions are able to retire, fairly young. Maybe you were a police officer. Maybe you were a firefighter, for example. Maybe you were in the military and you worked or served for 20 or 30, 25 years. And now you've retired, but of course, you're not looking to fully retire. You want to do something else. You could certainly go into another business. You could go into another job, or you might want to start a business. But you may have had the benefit of building up retirement funds. You may have a 401k, you may have an IRA, And in some cases, uh, many individuals have large sums of money in their 401k and their RIAs. Now, there are ways that these retirement instruments can be used to for business and investment methodologies. And we are helping our clients in an innovative methodologies or utilizing innovative methodologies to be able to access this capital. Now, some people might know, or some people may be questioning, well, if I tap into my retirement funds, won't I be subject to a penalty? Well, the answer is generally yes. However, there are ways in which we can access the capital found in retirement plans, IRAs, 401ks, etc., in which there is not a penalty for utilizing these funds. Now, all of this has to be structured properly. All of this is within the guidelines, the IRS guidelines, if it's done properly. And the point here is there tends to be a tremendous value and a tremendous potential in being able to access one's own funds. Now, just think about that for a second, because normally when we are having an IRA or a 401k or etc., those funds are there for our retirement. They're hopefully being invested in something or some number of things that are bringing forth some earnings. In other words, our money isn't simply sitting there as it's coming out of our paychecks and then being put into the IRA or the 401k. It's not just sitting there stagnant. No, it is hopefully growing to some extent in terms of earnings. So oftentimes, depending on where our funds are, what custodian, if you will, what institute or institution has our funds or is managing our funds, those funds are invested in something, right? And that hopefully is earning something for us. And those earnings could be okay. Those earnings could be, 3, 4, 5%, depending on the apparatus or the vehicle being used for those funds. But the point here is that where these funds are for our retirement and hopefully are being invested in something or in such a way that they're growing for us. In other words, they're growing. Now imagine, though, any one of us having the control over our own funds in giving us now the power to exceed, let's say, the typical earnings that it might reach in various funded methodologies, right? So traditional funding methodologies. So rather than getting 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10%, let's say on a large basis, and we're talking annual rates of return, instead of seeing something like that, and of course, if our funds are invested in the stock market or something of that nature, and we get a 20% return in a particular year, that's fantastic. But there are certainly things that can be done where we can receive even higher returns. So the big point here I want to make today is knowledge, education, that which we are teaching at Seti Inc. is helping individuals and companies to see that there is a big spectrum. There's not just a small, narrow box, not just a small, narrow box of opportunities or particular methods in which any of us can utilize and grow wealth. But if we become educated and knowledgeable, we will begin to find that there are numerous things we can do. Now, if you are like I am, and many of our clients are, you want to gain greater control. Now, some people don't honestly want to be in control of their finances. They don't want to have responsibility over their own cash or their own future to the extent where they are the persons making the decisions. They would rather pass that on. We too at Seti Inc. have certain methodologies in which this can be done. Again, we are not brokers or anything of that nature, but there are rules and regulations that we follow that allow us to do certain things. Let me at this juncture say, please reach out to us at www.tasetiinc.com. On our website, hit the contact us, put your information in, schedule a free consultation, or simply contact us at customer service at tasetiinc.com, customer service at tasetiinc.com. Schedule a free consultation. I tell you, it will be well worth your while. We're going to talk a little bit about tax management probably in a few broadcasts. We'll continue to talk about the decentralized reality because it's so phenomenal and it is truly the game-changing reality in terms of economics. But as we're concluding our broadcast today, again, for those of you who may own businesses, want to be in business, you want to be able to facilitate the control of your own money. You want to be he or she who controls your own destiny. If that's you, you want to contact us. If you have a retirement fund or plan, an IRA or 401k, and you want to learn how you can have more control, more access, more management, more determination, you want to contact us. We can help you learn. We can help you become educated. We can help you put into practice and into fruition the power of your own capital to the betterment of your own self, business, and or family. This is how wealthy people become wealthy. Gaining knowledge, putting into practice. Theory, practice. Theory, practice. This is what we do at Seti Inc. So please, family, begin to share this broadcast. Make sure you like us. After you view it, make sure you begin to subscribe to the channel so you can catch the new episodes as they come out. Make sure you're telling people. We are sharing information that is not going to be shared generally and let's say commonly throughout the world and the space, because one of the reasons why wealthy people are so wealthy is they know the secrets of wealth. So we are here sharing with our audience, with our clients, some of those secrets of wealth. And we want you to continue to spread the word and let people know. Please share this. Please like this. Please subscribe. And please continue to join us on this journey of learning. The world is changing. The question is, what part of that change will we be on? We hope to see you on the side of what we believe is the side that we've all been waiting for, that all the books have told us was coming, was the side of enlightenment, the side of benefit of spiritual bliss, if you will. And yes, we can even have that and have wealth and be happy. So we look and thank you. We look for you to join us. We thank you for joining us. Seti Saturdays, Seti Saturdays, Seti Saturdays. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, peace, and power.